Welcome to the Deep Dive. If you're here for a shortcut to being instantly well-informed on the latest health science, well, you are in exactly the right place.
We all instinctively know it, right? That feeling when a great track comes on and suddenly you have a bit more energy.
Oh, absolutely. But today we're going past that feeling. We want to know the why.
And we can. We're digging into some hardcore science here. A massive systematic review and meta-analysis. I mean, this thing pulled together 41 different studies, over 850 participants.
Wow. So that gives us some serious clarity. And our mission for you today is to unpack the physiology and biochemistry behind it all.
That's the core question. Is your motivational playlist just, a helpful distraction?
Or is this something more? A neurochemical tool that is literally changing how your brain is talking to your muscles.
The evidence points very strongly to the latter.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we get into the dopamine and all that, we have to set the stage. The researchers had to define what kind of music they were testing, right?
Exactly. To get clean data, they set up 3 very distinct conditions.
The first one is PML, preferred music listening.
Right. And that's the gold standard. It's your self-selected motivational playlist, the songs that genuinely, hype you up.
And then there's NPML, non-preferred.
Yeah.
So, like the gym's radio.
Yeah, or just some neutral stuff the researchers picked, maybe even something the participant actively disliked. It's the control for just generic music.
Okay, and the last one?
NML, no music listening.
So just silence.
Yeah.
The baseline.
Pretty much. Silence or just the ambient noise of the gym.
Okay, so we're comparing your personal best workout ever playlist against background noise and against total quiet.
Yeah.
I imagine the conclusion from all 41 studies was pretty clear.
It was incredibly consistent and powerful. The overwhelming finding is that PML is just better than both NPML and NML across almost every single thing they measured.
So the big insight is?
Individual preference is paramount. It's not just any music. It has to be your music for the real magic to happen.
That is fascinating. It's the emotional connection, not just the beat. So let's start where the music hits first. The mind. If preference is the trigger, what are the first psychological dominoes to fall?
The shift is immediate, and we can track it right back to the brain's reward system. The review found 3 huge, statistically significant boosts.
Okay, what's the first one?
A massive increase in motivation. People weren't just going through the motions, they were actively eager to perform.
And I'm guessing that's tied to the second factor, effective response.
Exactly. That's just a measure of pleasure and enjoyment, and it saw the single biggest lift of any psychological factor. I mean, if you enjoy something more, you're just naturally going to push harder.
But wait, if I'm more motivated and I'm happier, isn't that just a good vibe? Where's the proof this isn't just a placebo effect?
That brings us to the third metric. This is the one that links the subjective feeling to objective output.
Okay.
A significant reduction in RPE, or rate of perceived exertion.
How hard the exercise feels.
Right. With their preferred music on, the exact same weight or the exact same effort was perceived as being significantly easier. That's a measurable difference.
Okay, now we're getting to the really interesting part, the mechanism. What is the biochemical driver behind that huge jump in motivation and pleasure?
It all starts with the brain's primary currency for pleasure and motivation, dopamine release.
Right.
Your preferred music directly activates the mesolimbic dopamine system. This is the brain's main reward circuit.
So the same one that lights up from, like, a really good meal.
Precisely. The music is essentially hijacking that pleasure circuit. The dopamine surge directly explains the increase in motivation and that positive feeling. Your brain is literally signaling, hey, keep doing this. This feels good.
So your brain is basically being tricked into liking the hard work.
That's a great way to think about it. And that psychological priming then translates into pure physical output.
So this is the key. It's not just a feeling. The studies showed actual, measurable improvements in strength and power. Let's get into the 3 physical outcomes that saw the biggest benefit.
This is the real payoff. First up, maximal strength. So we're talking about your 1 rep max, or how hard you can contract a muscle. That maximal output went up significantly.
Meaning you can literally lift more weight when your song is on.
Absolutely. Second, power output. Think of explosive effort, like an Olympic lifting or a Wingate test. That ability increased significantly too.
And the third one, which I think is what most people are chasing in the gym, is about grinding out those last few reps.
Correct. Strength endurance. This is measured by repetitions to failure, and this saw the largest physical jump of all. Participants could squeeze out almost a third more reps on average.
Okay, so that brings us to the central physiological question. How does an auditory signal, a sound wave, translate into a muscle fiber firing harder? What is that link?
This is where we have two primary mechanisms. For that big single effort, like maximal strength and power, we're looking at mechanism A. Increased cortical excitability.
Increased cortical excitability. Okay, break that down for us. What's the music actually doing to the brain?
It's essentially priming the motor cortex. That's the part of your brain that fires off the signals to move. Think of it like the music is switching your internal wiring from standby mode to high performance mode.
So the signal from the brain to the muscle is just
right.
Cleaner, faster.
Exactly. It allows for better recruitment of your muscle units. You're not stronger in that moment. You're just using the strength you already have more effectively. Your brain can activate more muscle fibers at the same time.
That makes perfect sense for heavy lifting. But that's just half of it. What about getting more reps when your muscles are burning and telling you to stop?
That's where mechanism B comes in. It's called attentional dissociation.
Okay.
For those repetitive tasks, the music acts as a powerful dissociative stimulus. It literally shifts your attention away from those internal signals of fatigue and pain.
So it's like a mental shield.
That is a perfect analogy. The work isn't objectively easier for your muscles. The metabolic byproducts are still building up, but your perception of the effort is lower. It just feels less difficult, so you can push past that mental barrier and get those extra reps.
That perfectly explains the huge lift they saw in strength endurance. But what about other types of exercise? We've seen these clear benefits for strength, but what about, say, long-distance running or sprinting?
Yeah, this is where the lines get a little blurry. For pure aerobic endurance, they saw a positive trend with preferred music, but it just didn't quite reach statistical significance. It seemed to help, but not conclusively.
And for all-out sprints?
For speed performance, they found no consistent, significant effect at all compared to no music.
So why does the music's superpower just fade away when you're at your absolute physical limit? What biological cues take over?
This is a really crucial point. It comes down to a simple concept. Internal signals shout louder. At maximal or near maximal intensity, the music just can't compete anymore. Your body's internal feedback system becomes too loud to ignore.
What kind of internal signals are we talking about?
We're talking about acute physiological distress, severe oxygen debt, breathlessness, that overwhelming feeling that you are about to physically collapse.
Okay.
Those signals are so powerful, the brain has to listen. It's a survival mechanism. So music is fantastic for shielding you from moderate discomfort. But when your body is screaming that it's at its absolute limit, the brain tunes everything else out.
So music helps you ignore the feeling of fatigue, but it can't erase the actual physiological state. It can't replace oxygen.
Precisely. The psychoregulatory effect gets overridden by physical reality.
Now, before we get to the practical takeaways, the meta-regression in the study showed a really interesting twist about individual differences, specifically between male-dominant and female-dominant study groups.
Yes, this was a fascinating wrinkle. While the physical performance gains were pretty consistent across the board, the psychological resonance of the music seemed to differ slightly. The studies with a higher proportion of female participants, they showed stronger positive effects on motivation and effective response, that enjoyment factor.
A stronger emotional lift from the music.
That's what the data suggests. Conversely, the male-dominant studies showed stronger objective benefits for strength endurance. So, getting more reps to failure.
So while the music is good for everyone, the way that benefit expresses itself might vary. Interesting. So let's bring this all home. What does this mean for our listeners who want to apply this science to their next workout?
It boils down to 3 clear science-backed strategies. Number 1, and we can't say this enough, personalize your playlists.
It has to be your music.
Autonomy is the key. That choice is what activates the brain's reward system. Ditch the gym speakers.
Okay, what's number 2?
Use it strategically. The evidence is strongest for strength and power training. If you're about to attempt a new 1-rep max on your squat, that's the moment to cue up your absolute favorite track.
Save the best song for the hardest set.
Well,
like a secret weapon.
Exactly. And number 3 is to just embrace it. Embrace a low-cost tool. Preferred Music is a simple, legal, and highly effective performance aid. It's an accessible neurochemical cheat code.
So there you have it. Your favorite playlist is not just background noise. It is a personalized tool rewiring your performance from the brain down thanks to that rush of dopamine and that increased cortical excitability.
The science is clear. Your personal preference is the trigger. That's what maximizes the benefits in the gym, so choose wisely.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We really appreciate you tuning in. If you found this information valuable and you want more science-backed insights like this, please invite us back into your feed by clicking that like and subscribe button. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.